Hello, everyone. This is Esperanza Walsh, and this is Art from the Heart at St. Augustine's Church. And we are doing it remotely today because of the lockdown caused by COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, now we're in the topic of blending. Previously, we've gone through the techniques and we've seen the different effects that different techniques would result to. Now, an application would be painting clouds, painting flowers, petals. This sunset. For today, we are focused on painting the sunset because the goal is for us to apply what we have learned in the previous lesson so that when we paint, we know exactly what to do and when to apply the technique. So for the sunset, this is the drawing that we would need to do. And this would be the colors that we would need. So we would need blue, that's usually ultramarine or Prussian blue, something dark that we can use for the sky. And then we need the black, green. For green, we need, oh, I don't have green here. I'll just mix yellow and blue to create it. You can use sap green or any green pigment that you have with you, because green would not be the main color in this particular image. It actually would just be used to help enhance the appearance of the water. Now, the next color would be yellow. That's lemon yellow, then yellow ochre, orange, red. Red also, we can use deep red, vermilion, or cadmium red. It's not very particular. For one, this is an exercise, a learning exercise. And another thing is, it depends on your preference, which color you want to use. And also another thing is that it depends on the materials that you have, knowing the limitations we have during lockdown. So preferably it should be deep red. Then we have violet. So let's start. So the first thing we have to do is to draw a horizontal line. Yes, not on the top, not at the bottom, not in the middle, but about 2/3 from the top. So 2/3 from the top, 1/3, 2/3, or 1/3 from the bottom. We have that horizontal line that marks the horizon. Now the next thing is we want to draw the sun. So I'm just going to make a circle here. By the way, on your paper, on your artwork, do not put too much pressure in your drawing, so that when you erase it, it would be easily done. Otherwise, you're going to have a difficult time removing the marks of the pencil. So it doesn't really matter if there's some marks. It will just appear to be some sort of a shadow. But again, it's best to draw the guidelines slightly. So I'm just trying to darken it so that you can see. But on your end, it should be as light as possible, as long as you can see it. So now the next thing is draw the line. Draw a curved line. It's like a concentric circle. This is for our sunset. And you can actually do this bit without the drawing, just a horizontal line. So the next bit is just to paint this with water. So I'm going to paint the circle with water, the first line with water, the second line with water, and the third line with water. So these are just supposed to be markers. So now I will paint this line here, lemon yellow. And I'm just letting the paint spread naturally in the water. Yeah, though I do think I have too much water, but we will see in a moment if we need to dab that off or lift it. Next, I'm going to paint yellow ochre along the second line and let the paint spread the first color that we have painted. And then I'm gonna paint this with orange. Oops, there we are, orange. And now red. Okay, don't go over the water that you painted earlier. So in this case, I think I need to paint some more water around this image so that the paint can spread naturally. And yes, I do see here that I have excess water. So what I'm gonna do is just to dab it off. So I'm just letting the kitchen towel absorb the excess paint. Now what happened here is that the center of the sun, my sun, has been covered with paint. So I'm going to dab it with the kitchen towel so that it can be white again. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm just gonna continue painting this with red, letting the red spread. So you will have something like this. And then after this, you need to paint the rest of the top part that's on top of your horizon with water, just water. Okay. Making sure you don't have too much water because we don't want the same thing to happen to us again, to have that overflow. Not for this activity. Okay, and I'm cleaning my brush. That's by squeezing all the paint into the kitchen towel and then rinsing it. Okay. And now I'm going to get some blue paint. And then paint it into the shapes I'd like it to have in the sky. And then next is, I'm gonna get some violet paint. Let me get some violet paint. There we go. And then add water to that. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with the blue paint. Just shape it the way I want it to be in the sky. And now I'm gonna clean my brush. And this bit is very important. So my brush is now clean and I'm going to paint this area with just water. So that the paint runs smoothly on the paper and mixes smoothly with the other paint. There's some areas I will not be painting like this one because I like the way the paint mixed. And this one I need to paint. Okay, and again, yes, I do have too much water. And then this one, this area here, I would need to soften it. And I'm just going to paint it with water, just a little bit, so that the transition is smooth. Oops, just painted over my favorite bit. That's fine. Well, I want to give it more drama and balance, so I'm going to put some red paint over here, just like that. And maybe a little bit yellow as well. And there we go. So now it has enough drama. Oh, beautiful. Isn't that just beautiful? So far, we have the upper part of the sky. And this was what I was telling you. That's why the drawing has to be light. Otherwise, the lines can be seen. You can actually paint this directly without drawing the sun and the horizon. If you can remember where you want to place the colors, that's fine. That would work. Okay, now here at the bottom, we're going to paint this with blue and green that's mixed together. Okay, so let me just get some blue here. And let me get some green. Bear with me, I'm just mixing some paint. Because I did mention earlier, I didn't have green paint. So I have to mix blue and yellow to create the green first. Then slowly mix it with blue again, so that I have the color I want to have for the water. Now for this bit, we painted in a manner that looks like an X, so that we can see some brush strokes and some spaces which are white, which would actually make the water look more dynamic, and it would be more realistic as well, because it will appear to have some part where there's light being reflected. There we go. Okay, I'm going to mix some more blue and green, but this time I will make it darker. I think I made it too dark. I need to put some yellow in it to make it lighter. Now it's too light. Okay, and that's the convenience that you get if you have the tubes that are ready to use. You don't have to go through the tedious process of mixing the colors, experimenting how you get the color you want. But in this case, I am doing this because for me, this is actually more convenient. I find it easier. But for you, especially if you're a beginner, I would prefer that you get the tube in the color you want and just use those colors. But as you learn more techniques in watercolor painting, you would actually appreciate knowing how to mix the colors. Thus, you will have more option on which colors to use, and when you're outdoors, it would also be easier to manage when you're outdoors painting in plein air. There we go. Again, we do an X-like thing. In this area, it didn't do the X type of painting. And that is because I wanted to be thicker than this bit closer to the bottom. so that it projects an image that it's further away. There we go. And now we have the sunset. However, it's not yet finished. So what we need now is black paint. Okay, let me just get some black paint. And can anyone guess what the black paint is going to be used for? Yes, it's going to be to paint the horizon. So we're going to paint a line running across that in black paint. And then we're going to paint some shapes as well. Okay, so we're going to paint some shapes. Let's make a mountain here. Okay, so we have a mountain there. Now I want to make another mountain here. Yes, because it seems more classical to have the sunset behind the mountains. Okay, and then here maybe some trees, and I do that just by dropping some paint with the tip of the brush. And then here as well, I'm going to cover the blue paint here that wasn't covered by the line. And then here another set of probably trees. There we go. And maybe a mountain here as well. Okay. So now you have your water, the sun, the horizon. And that is your composition applying color blending. So let's have a look. So this is what we painted today. Yes, isn't it beautiful seeing those white areas in the water? It really makes it come alive. And then the sky, and then the sun. We probably should make it more intense in our next composition. And again, it is best if we don't draw the markers for the sun. If we can remember where to paint which color, that would be best. Okay, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this session. See you next time for more blending exercises.